again, I'm Ida Ong from ASEAN International in Singapore. It's so nice to see you all back again. And today, I'd like to share new things with you. Yesterday, we talked about grooming and we concentrated quite a bit on first impressions and also how to look after yourself and how to achieve a good posture. I hope you've been practicing that posture exercise I shared with you from yesterday. Remember, don't be impatient. It takes about 4 to 5 weeks for things to change. It's not a magic show because you're trying to break a habit. And habits are very difficult to break, as we all know. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit more on grooming, but we concentrate on the other aspect. Yesterday, it was about posture. Posture, how you stand, how you carry your clothes. Your head should be up, eyes at eye level to the person you're talking to. Today, we look at poise. Poise is another word that people are not so familiar with. It's about your behavior, how you walk, how you stand, how you pick up something, how you knock on a door, how you sit, etc., etc. It's actually the body movements that you use every day of your life. Certain people just have it in them. But you know what? The good news is you can learn good posture and good poise. Same thing. Every posture and poise fault takes 4 to 5 weeks to correct. So you must promise me that you will not be impatient and that you will practice daily. Shall we begin? I'm sure you have heard about eye contact. As you can see, nowadays we have to wear a mask for most times that we're out with people. Now, in the past, eye contact is very closely linked to a smile. Now, with a mask on, even more than ever, eye contact is so important to convey messages. And it is also for you to have the proper eye contact to give a good impression of yourself to others. Some negative eye contact include staring, looking down, looking away, eyeballs looking to the right or the left instead of the person in front of you, or darting eyeballs, just basically not listening by looking down. These are just a few of the negative ones. I would like to encourage you to wear a mask at home and practice good eye contact. Look at yourself in the mirror and smile. Say your name like I did. Hi everyone, my name is Ida Ong from ASEAN International. I'm smiling very widely. If you don't, I give you an example of no smiles and no expression. Hello everyone, my name is Ida Ong from ASEAN International. As you can see, there's no life in the eyes. I'm not talking about large eyes or small eyes. I'm talking about your eyes, your own beautiful eyes. How do you make that right eye contact? Again, the mirror is your best friend. Practice. I'd like to invite my beautiful model, Michelle, back again, and also my handsome Mas to demonstrate things to do with eye contact and smiling. So, because we're talking about eye contact, I would like to invite my two models to demonstrate once again the negative aspect of eye contact. No eye contact, look down. That's the worst thing to do, obviously, right? Staring at somebody, widening your eyes very widely and holding it on too tightly. You can look very scary. The next one, blinking non-stop. That is actually a very bad habit because if you blink a lot, what happens is you lose concentration for yourself, plus it makes the other person dizzy. I would start blinking too if you kept blinking at me. So that's not a good thing, right? And the next one, of course, if you look left and right too much, that means you're not even listening to what I'm saying. You're not interested in me, whom you're speaking to. You're looking left and right, which is not a good thing. So let's try the nicer way. The nicer way would, of course, be looking at the person you're speaking to in front of you. right? And try now to smile the biggest smile that you can. You can see that they look slightly different. Bigger smile, as big as you can. Very good. And that helps your eyes go alive. And that's something that you want to work at. All right, next, I'd like to move on to how we stand. To give a confident look, make sure we're standing tall. Remember that posture exercise I shared with you? Make sure you're standing tall. And of course, there are several ways of placing your hands and legs to make it better, or if you are not aware, it can make you look really bad. So let's look at the legs first, where the models would help me demonstrate what we do not want you to have. Okay, so for example, for a guy, the stance is too wide. It's too wide, wider than shoulder. That can make you look a little aggressive and scary. For a lady, if her legs are put very widely, it can look very rough. So we also don't recommend that. Okay? Mas, can I ask you to cross your legs now? Yes. Crossing of the legs, in a while I'll talk to you about hands, but crossing of the legs is as bad as crossing on the arm. It actually is enclosing your own body, which means you don't really want to be approached by anyone and you're not very sociable. Right? And same for the lady. If you cross your legs in front like this, that's not a good thing. We recommend that you don't do that. Okay, so for feet, what's better? If you both be kind enough to stand your legs together, don't need to be at full attention, obviously, right? But when the legs are together, close together, Mas? Yes. There's more a respectful stance where you are standing straight to give an expression of being at attention, which is not appropriate for every single moment. But let's say you're working in a hotel situation and you're greeting a very important guest coming into the hotel. You should be standing with your legs right together and with a very maintenance of the good posture. Right? So with the leg position, we concentrate still for the ladies. The proper one, or preferred one I should use, is one leg in front of the other. Remembering your toes will be slightly out on the front foot to give you a bit of balance. That will make the weight go onto the back of the legs and give you a very good stance. Okay, so this is another alternative for standing with legs together. This is strictly only for ladies. Gentlemen, don't do this. Okay? For guys, it will be legs apart to the width of the shoulder. If you have your legs apart and it's the width length of your shoulder, that is the correct spacing between the legs. And that's what you want to achieve as gentlemen. Next, we move on to hands. May I ask my two models to cross the arms? Do you know what this means in body language? Crossing at the arms shows that you are actually quite unsociable. You don't want to have anything to do with anyone. Hence, you've crossed your arms. And the message you're sending out is actually, keep off, get lost. I want to be by myself. Extend one hand down, please, and keep the hands crossed. Now, if you do this, it's the same expression as cross back both arms again. This, put your hands in your pocket, or this. Unless it's for a fashion pose, when you have hands in your pocket when you meet people, it actually is not very sociable and can come across as a little bit disrespectful if it's to older people. Of course, some people will tell me, oh, I cross my arms because I'm really cold. Okay, then it's a different story, right? If you're cold, you're cold. So you have to cross your arms and warm yourself up. But socially, and even in business, we discourage people from doing this. The more you cross your hands at the front, the less it would be desirable. So I want to encourage all of you to try to remember not to cross at the top, neither this, neither putting your hands in your pocket, as little as possible. All right, So that's hands. And now, what is the proper way to have your hands? Interlacing is a good one, where you put your fingers between each other like this. And what's the meaning of this? It means you're ready to serve. If you're going to your boss for instructions, you can have your hands like this, because I may say, Mas, can you help me get document A from the cupboard? And he has put his hands like this to say, yes, my message has been received by him, and he's ready to go and do the deed. Right? The next one is crossing at where your watch is, assuming that you wear your watch on your left hand. This is more friendly than if you move your arm or your hand, I beg your pardon, to the arm. That is the same as crossing. So if you move it down to where the watch is, this looks a lot friendlier. This is good. Right? Next one, by your side. Hands by your side are probably the best. It means you are ready to serve someone. You're ready to shake hands with somebody, if you can shake hands these days, right? You're ready to help someone because your hands are free. They're by the side. And that we call hands of service. The last one, hands at the back. While hands at the back look very good, very stylish, it's not appropriate for all occasions, because hands at the back can make you look a little less friendly. So you may see people who are leading guests into a restaurant, the host or hostess of the restaurant, they will stand with their hands at the back to welcome guests because they are at attention. So for normal people like us, if we are not in that position of work, I want to discourage you from putting your hands at the back too much, because that can seem a little less friendly. So let's do the friendly ones again to help you remember. Interlacing in front. Put your hand where the watch area is. Hands by your side. And if you really need to, hands at the back. That's still permissible. Talking about hands, I also like to show you how do you indicate a direction to people. Do you think it is rude to use this? What do you think? Is it all right to use your forefinger to show direction? What do my models think? Yes or no? No. Usually we'll say no. Please do not do that, because that's quite rude. Even if you're learning to, teaching a child to point at things, I'd like you to show them the correct way. So what's the correct way? Or the preferred way? It is to open up your palm. If you do it with me, please. Yes. And point it to the direction where you want to go, or show the person. And of course, you'll say, this way, please. It's over there. Please have a seat. Friendly. Right? Some people have asked me, what then is this? Have you seen this way of pointing? This is not a universal way, but it is a correct way used in certain countries. So we must learn. Otherwise, when we look at this, we're thinking, what's the person doing? They have a thumb on top of their fingers. What does it mean? It's actually the same as directional, which means either this is usable, but more usable universally is this one. So don't forget about pointing. Let's avoid this. Over there. Have a seat. As you can see, that will not be very desirable. It will not be very nice. Okay? Now, we're going to move on next to how to walk nicely. Maybe I'd like to ask my models to stand by the side first while I talk about the topic of walking. For men and women, our styles of walking are different. Thank goodness, right? We don't want to walk like each other. A man's fault would be pigeon toes, which I'll ask my models to demonstrate in a while, or too far apart, we call it duck feet, or the train walk. And we must never forget the posture and the hands. So for example, if your feet are very far apart, your hands are very far apart, and you have this kind of posture, I don't think I need to remind you which animal it is in the jungle that you look like. So we want to make you look friendlier, and I'll show you the correct way in a while. For ladies, very similar, pigeon toes. Toes in, duck feet. And for us ladies, we are not like the men. We cannot have our feet too far apart. For the guys, the stance will be the same as standing, which is the width of your shoulders. So I'll say it once again. For the ladies, it's pigeon toes, duck feet, too far apart. Those are not good, right? So we want to look at what is good and what you can do to improve it. Once again, a gentle reminder, all posture and poise faults take 5 weeks to change. I want to encourage you to keep focusing on that because people expect miracles. It can happen, but it takes 4 to 5 weeks to change one posture or poise fault. So remember, if you have hunched shoulders, that's 5 weeks to correct. If you have a hand problem and you like to do this, that's 5 weeks to correct. If you walk with pigeon toes, that's 5 weeks to correct. If your feet are too far out like a duck, that takes 5 weeks to correct. Every posture and poise takes 5 weeks to correct. It might seem like a lifetime, and we hope you don't have that many posture or poise faults, and it can be corrected in, let's say, 3 months. It's really worth it, no matter what age you are, to try and correct your posture and poise as soon as possible and pass these good habits down to other people, like your family members, especially the young ones. My clients also ask me, how old do you think I can teach my child the correct posture or poise? My answer is as soon as they can walk well and understand well. So maybe 3 years old onwards, 4 years old onwards, I have taught children of that age, and the change is amazing because they're so young, they can just grasp it like that. And I encourage you all to do that as well for yourself. So now, since we've looked at the wrong things, let's look at the right, right? I'll be doing the wrong one first and then the right one. I'd like to invite Michelle first to help me demonstrate the wrong way to walk. So Michelle, if we begin from there. Yes. Maybe you can walk in with pigeon toes where your feet are turned in. So this is not good. Sorry, you need to back up. And the next one, feet apart, duck feet. That's also not good. Okay, back up again. The next one, your legs are far apart. We call this the train walk. Right? That's very manly looking, so we don't want that. That's also not good. So what is good for a lady? Like a guy, firstly, posture. Secondly, hands by your side, fingers nice and long, and a slight closeness of the legs. I don't like to use the word cross because if you are crossing at your feet, some people overdo it and do this. We're not dancers or models on the streets. We don't do that. We don't need to do that. We just want to bring our feet one closer to the other to achieve a more elegant walk. So I'll stand over here and maybe Michelle will help me. Just look at me. Yes, good. Excellent. Maybe back up and do it one more time. Maybe a little faster pace if you can. Excellent. So that is a demonstration of a better walk for a lady. Thank you. Next, I'd like to ask Mas to help me show all the guys out there how you should walk. Right? So first we look at the not so good ones. Right? What's the not so good for a guy? It will be a very wide stance, bigger than your shoulder area, a slight hunch, and the hands away from the body a little bit. So come forward. That can be a bit scary in the night. Okay, so back up. Another one which is very unusual for men. In all the time that I've taught these lessons, I would say maybe 10% of men have this problem. It's actually basically a lady's problem. What is that? That's pigeon toes, where you put one toe in front of the other, go, and you're turning your toes in as you walk. It happens to guys too. Thank you. But very seldom, very, very seldom. Okay? And the next one, of course, is you are meant as a guy to have your legs apart when you walk. But if they're too far apart with the toes outwards like this, that would not be desirable. That would not be desirable. Okay, so those are the 3 do not do. Okay, so what is the good way? Now for guy, it depends on the shoulder width. Just that's the way you stand. Just know that when you walk, the width between the legs is about the shoulder width. Don't forget your hands have to be in a slight curl for your fingers to look strong. Stand out straight from your diaphragm area. Widen your shoulders. So, something like this. Excellent. And maybe back up and do it one more time. And of course, depending on where you're going, thank you, that is a relaxed speed. Of course, we are not robots. So the faster you walk, the more your hands move for both genders. It doesn't mean that you walk slow all the time, correct? So if you're strolling, it'll be very different to if you're walking very fast. The speed factor involves also the hands and the legs as well. So remember, that is part and parcel of it. Very good. Now we saw the wrong and we saw the right. How do we correct this? I didn't give you a solution yet, right? So how do we correct this problem? So maybe I'd like to invite both my models to come back again. So if you have a habit of turning your toes in other words, you're pigeon-toed. Please demonstrate pigeon-toes. Yes. The correction is, believe it or not, do the opposite. Pull your toes out. Maybe slightly, not so much, yes. Because if you're really pigeon-toed, you'll find it very hard to pull your toes out. And then you walk with that pulling out. In your mind, you'll feel, oh my goodness, I look weird, I look strange. But if you have a long mirror, which you should if you have posture and poise problems, you will see that that's how you correct it. So what do you think? If pigeon-toes, the fault to correct is to pull the toes out, what do you think if you have duck feet? How do you correct that? Very good. Do the opposite. So if your feet are this way, you turn it in. Opposite to pigeon toes. All right? So pigeon toes, pull out. Duck feet, toes turn in. What about if your feet are far apart? For a guy, it's very simple. He just places it a little nearer. For the lady, at this point, if your legs are really far apart when you walk, I have to tell you to put your right foot more in front of your left. As you walk, consciously correct. Before you know it, 5 weeks are up and you can walk elegantly anywhere. I do advise the ladies to practice in heels. Doesn't have to be 6 inches, but at least some elevation. For the gentlemen, if you have a walk problem, I'd like to advise you to wear leather shoes. Because in sports shoes or rubber-based shoes, you can tend to have a bounce. If you bounce a lot in your walk, it's actually really bad for your ankles. The correct way to walk is heel, toe. Never toe, heel. Heel, toe. So that was about walking. I'd like to continue now with how do you pick something up nicely? Not so much that you want to look beautiful, elegant, but it's better for your back. You know that back problems are forever. If you've hurt your back, I do advise you to go for therapy and heal that as soon as possible and change the bad habit that you have. So to show you how to pick up something nicely off the floor and how not to pick it up off the floor, I have to ask my 2 models to give me a hand again. So now I'd like to ask my 2 models in a little while to demonstrate the preferred way of picking up something or putting it down and the non-preferred way. Remember, it's for the health of your back. Our backs are very precious. Once it's hurt, sadly, it's a lifelong commitment. So now I'd like to ask Mas to come in. He has a box in his hand and he's placing it down the wrong way, the not preferred way. What happens here is his body is straight down, legs are straight. Doing that gives us stress on your body as well as the knees. So if you now like to demonstrate the correct way, Mas, which is bending a little bit more, yes, from here, especially if the article is heavy, and lifting it up as you come out. That is preferred, because if this box is containing something really heavy, to take it from with your legs straight, wow, you're going to really hurt your back. Thank you, Mas. And now for a lady, slightly different to how a gentleman would pick up something from the floor, because we have to protect our modesty. Okay? So I'd like to invite Michelle to come back in. So Michelle, if you just like to put the phone down in the wrong way, without bending her knees, as you can see, right? It will not be a good thing. Now, if she's going to pick up something without putting one leg in front of the other, and she's wearing a very short skirt, this is what's going to happen. Just go straight down in a squat, straight down in a squat. Now, if it's a short skirt, everyone can look into your skirt. So we don't want that. Michelle, if you stand up again, put your left leg behind and your right leg in front. Now, go down in a squat position. With the leg that's higher, one leg on the other, one leg higher than the other, it actually covers your modesty. Thank you. And then you can pick the article up. That is the preferred way, because you're putting balance on both legs, but you're hiding your modesty as well. Thank you, Michelle. So bad backs are forever. Remember that. Okay? Bad backs are forever. We try not to concentrate too much on that, but we try to help ourselves. When we need to pick up something, whether it's a small article or a big one, let's concentrate on doing it correctly. The next thing I want to talk about is how to enter and exit a room properly. We all know that we must knock on the door that's closed if you want to enter the room. It could be the door to your child's bedroom. It could be the door to your own bedroom with your husband in it. It could be the door leading to your boss's room, or a meeting room, or you're in another person's house and you're staying overnight. Whatever it is, if a door is closed, it's closed for a reason. It's not for you to just barge in. That's completely rude. So we must always learn to knock on the door. A lot of people say, I knock on the door. But do you listen for the person to say, come in please? Or you just knock and rush in? That's also not a good thing, because you have not waited for that person to say, come in. You don't want to find people in awkward positions when you open the door and give everybody a big scare. Okay, so I'd like to invite again my two models this time to come in again together, Michelle and Mas. Okay, we don't have a door, but we would like to ask you to imagine, stretch your imagination a little bit. Okay? So the guy, Mas, not very loudly and with a lot of strength. Bum, 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 bum. And you enter before someone says come in. So you just open the door. Michelle, not very softly. You can't be heard. Is that a good thing? Because if you knock so softly, people can't hear you. How do they know that you want to enter the room? Okay? So, what's a better way? Michelle will demonstrate the way it should be done, which is knocking with strength enough to be heard, waiting for a person to say come in, and then entering the room, and then closing the door behind her. Right? With no slamming, please. Right. So, how about when you exit? Is it the same way? So, Mas will show you the way not to do it. Don't do it like what Mas is going to demonstrate, okay? So, knocking on it really loudly and allowing the door to open and slam. Boom! Someone might get a heart attack and collapse. Please don't do that. Be mindful of other people. Okay? The correct way, Michelle will show us, where you open the door gently, step forward in front of the door, and close the door behind you, making sure that it does not slam. Thank you, Michelle. Please remember what I just said about whose room the door is leading to. A lot of people feel that children do not need privacy. They do. As much as adults, all of us need privacy. So whoever's room it leads to is only polite to knock before you enter and wait for the come in please, and not just rush in because you've knocked. I hope you've been able to pick up some more tips from me. Remember, practice makes perfect. Use it daily until it becomes a good habit. I look forward to seeing you again, and the next 2 episodes will cover my other topic, etiquette. Bye for now.
Today, we would like to share not only how to look after your lip and eyes, but also to do the makeup on it. Create a natural eyebrow look by first determining the natural length of your eyebrows. Once you have determined the length, then begin to fill in your brows. Use a pencil color that is close or a slightly lighter than the color of your natural eyebrow hair. Step 1. Brush your brow with a spoolie. Starting with one of your brow, brush it in an upward motion. Brushing your brows in an upward motion will help you to see the shape of your brow, as well as you need to fill in to get a smooth, even look. Shape your eyebrow by making a frame and fill in the brow. Using LT Pro Eyebrow Pencil by taking a point as starting point under the brow, then pull a line at the top of your arching point underneath your brow. Continue by pull the line again until the tail of your brow. After making a line under your brow, make another line at the top of your brow. LT Pro Eyebrow Pencil contains antioxidant and silica to make the brow look perfect, natural, and long-lasting. LT Pro Eyebrow Pencil has 2 color variants, black and brown. To fill in your brows, use an eyebrow pencil that is close or a slightly lighter than your natural eyebrow hair. Using short, feathery strokes, lightly fill the gaps and spar area in the middle. Arching portions of your brow. Step 3. Blend your eyebrows. To blend your brows, use a spoolie. Following the shape of your brows, brush your brow 2 or 3 times until it gets blended and natural look. If you have a mascara and clear is better, swipe gently to give an illusion of brow shades. Or you can use eyebrow products that contain wax. Use a spoolie or eyebrow comb and follow the growth direction. This is the trick for you who has a very thin eyebrow or none. However, for you who already has a thick eyebrows, this trick could be useful to make your eyebrow look fresh and not dead. Define with concealer. Use LT Pro Fix Conceal to make the arching of your eyebrow look neat and flatten with your finger. Apply LT Perfect Conceal on the brow bone underneath the brow, then flatten it with the spatial brush. If you don't want to plug your brow, concealer also helps to fade the brows, especially the one curled outside the frame that has been made. LT Perfect Conceal has two colors, light and medium. Closing eyebrow. Perfectly defined brows will help to frame your entire face and to bring out your eyes with or without additional makeup. Eye makeup is an art of the goddess and what it does to make your face to look mesmerizing. It is instantly change your entire look, making you look fierce and fabulous. All it takes to master the art of the flawless eyes is a practice and understanding of choosing the right shades with some basic tips. Trust us, you don't need to be a maestro to get the eye makeup right. Start small and practice until you can blend it like your favorite beauty blogger. A tiny makeup brush and some inspiration to slay the glamour of your eye makeup tips. A starter kit for eye makeup will just include a palette with few shades. Use an eye primer. Apply LT Pro Long Lasting Eyeshadow Primer on your eyelid using a spatial brush or finger. LT Pro Long Lasting Eyeshadow Primer is an eyeshadow base which you use before you use your eyeshadow to elevate the color of the eyeshadow and make it long lasting. LT Pro Long Lasting Eyeshadow Primer contains olive oil as a moisturizer. We insist that you always use an eye primer. After all, that's precisely what will make your makeup stay for a longer time. Eye primer helps to create a smooth surface for the makeup to easily glide on. Use an eyeshadow. Choose your neutral base. Once you've applied your eyeshadow base and give it some seconds to dry, you can move on to the first color. For this step, choose a natural wash color that is natural and blends with your skin tone. Using shade Warm from LT Pro Naturally Glam Eyeshadow Palette, apply the base color with a flat eyeshadow brush to ensuring that the entire lid is covered. Lightly tap the eyeshadow on the eyelid and extend it to your brow bone so all the primer has been set by the eyeshadow. Let's add the depth into your crease. You'll notice that adding the depth into the crease is where the definition starts to form. And the shade you've chosen are the beginning to have the nice contrast to each other. For this step, I'm adding a deeper color of few shades than my base. It's called dark brown. Using a fluffy eyeshadow crease brush, I'm blending the eyeshadow in a circular motion into the eye crease of my eye. The key to this step is knowing that the more you practice it, the more you master the art. You must take time to blending darker eyeshadow to get it right. Blend, 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 and when in dope, blend some more. Utilize your highlight. Highlighting under the eyebrows gives a soft shimmer and define your eyebrow bone at the same time. For the highlight, I'm using the shade Ivory, which is a light champagne color. Seeing as everyone's skin tone are different, the key of the highlighter is to make sure that it doesn't appear too stark. Avoid any color that is too bright and look frosty, as this can detract attention from the overall look. Let's pay attention to the inner corner. Apply a shimmering eyeshadow to the inner corner of your eyes is a great way to illuminate. I will use this silver shade. You can see the touch of the light gold shimmer in the inner corner here. And this step brings the color together for a multidimensional eyeshadow look. Any highlight will work for this, and it's fun to experiment with different tones until you find the one you love. LT Pro Naturally Glam Eyeshadow Palette has 8 color choices, but contain olive oil to make the skin moist and vitamin E as antioxidant. line your eyes. Use an LT Pro waterproof eyeliner pencil black to make an eyeliner. First, start in the middle of your lash line and draw a short strokes outward, then do the same inward toward your nose. It should feel like you are drawing a dotted line. Go back and fill in the gaps in the dotted line until it is thick and even. For the same look, line your bottom lash line as well. Using the same technique, bring the line up to meet the flake at the end of your cat eye. LT Pro has 5 types of eyeliner. In this video, I will use eyeliner pencil waterproof black. It is a black pencil with a creamy formula to shape and distinguish eyeliner, and not easily faded, of course. It contains jojoba oil, avocado oil, aloe vera extract, vitamin C, vitamin E to take care of your eye area. Finish with mascara. And the next, we use LT Pro Dreamy Lash Waterproof Mascara. Mascara which created to give an impression for long, thick, and tapering eyelashes. Spread LT Pro Dreamy Lash Waterproof Mascara on your eyelashes with the brush that provided in the package, with a zigzag movement from inside toward the outside of your lashes. Bold eyeshadow can overpower your eyelashes, so it is important to finish your eye with mascara. This will help to open up your eye and make it look bright. Begin by holding your mascara wand at the base of your lashes. As you move it down the length of your lashes, wiggle it gently to avoid clumping. After one coat dries, feel free to add an extra volume. It is one of the most essential fashion accessories for every woman just can't live it without. I'm sure that every ladies will agree with this because lipstick is a most go-to makeup everywhere you go, every time you need. LT Pro Aqualine Lip Cream contains murmur seed butter moisturizer which help to moisten the dry lips, vitamin E which act as an antioxidant, and UV filter to protect your lips from severe sunlight. The specialty of LT Pro Aqualine Lip Cream is giving creamy final result and long-lasting. Don't miss out the inner corner. Ensure you apply it within the corners of your lined lips. Go coat by coat and intensify the color as you please. Usually, one good coat of a quality lipstick will suffice. Note: if you have dry lips, you may not want to use a matte lipstick since they are tend to betray your lips even more. Look for the moisturizing lipstick. If your lips are on thinner side, avoid using dark colors as they tend to make your lips look smaller. Finally, it's done! These are the makeup tutorial for eyes and lip using LT Pro professional makeup products.
The designers for Day 2 are Valeria Cartaduela, Italy; Fadzil Hadin, Brunei; Dave Ocampo, Philippines; Charlotte Bajor, Myanmar; Edwin Wee, Philippines; Shamilov Muhammad, Kazakhstan; Yestavi Alibek, tourist; Benito Fernandes, Argentina; Rika Oroz, Hungary; Kinga Kovacs, Hungary; George Khalif, USA; Fion Poon, Malaysia; Wei-Ling Chang, USA; Evan Ong, Malaysia; Patrick Cupid, USA; Hani Hananto, Indonesia; Atika Ismail, Brunei; Bata Spasojevic, Serbia; Susanna Perik, Serbia; Natasa Perkowski Advik, Serbia; Natasa Zupek, Serbia; Saga Markovic, Serbia; Primsiri Nexwadi, Thailand.
Welcome back to ASEAN International Digital Fashion Week Results, brought to you by ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase, AFDS, TheHomeGround Asia, and W Singapore Sentosa Cove. I am Vanessa and I am your host for this breathtaking showcase that features unique styles and diversity from ASEAN and our international partners and friends. It's day 2 and this Resort Fashion Week brings together 80 designers from 30 countries in this exciting showcase. The resort theme gives designers a playful platform to experiment with fun and creative designs that I know will be interesting and exciting. Brought to you live from W Singapore Sentosa Cove, uniquely situated within Sentosa's vibrant flora and fauna, a high-octane entertainment location surrounded by the marina with private baths, minutes from the central business district, shopping destination, and top tourist attractions. Let's sit back and get ready for today's designer showcase. I hope you're as excited as I am.
George, you bring people's visions and dreams to life. You are so easy and fun to collaborate and create with, and I just celebrate you today and all of your many talents and gifts. Thank you so much for shining your light on the world. Congratulations, hon.
George is such an amazing jeweler. I just love all his pieces because he really makes them so sentimental and custom, and I've just fallen in love with all the pieces.
I came to know George through my makeup artist, Alan Avendano. He had just made Alan and his now husband, Chris, nameplates, and I was looking for a necklace, like a nice necklace that had a W for my now fiance's name. We got to know each other, and he was not only such an amazing individual, but a brilliant jewelry designer. I have been wearing that piece ever since. That was in 2017. And he has done everything from creating big hoops that are light for my ears to having my anklet dream on the beach come true. So I love you, George. Congratulations.
Not only is George so talented and so passionate about what he does, he can make any vision come to life, but he's also so sweet, so wonderful to work with, and has become such a great friend.
The one and only George the jeweler. Oh, how blessed do I feel to know someone not only so talented, but also with such a big heart. He can make everything and anything happen. And he does it with a positive attitude, with a smile on his face always. His passion really just transcends it all. And I think that is just such a beautiful thing to know and to be a part of.
George, you make all of my visions, wishes, dreams come true. You are incredibly talented, and I'm so grateful to know you, and you are a lovely, amazing person to work with.
George is undeniably one of the most talented friends that I have. I could text George an idea and a photo at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and he will be on it. And literally, the piece that I had in my head, I had imagined, he brings it to life, and it shows up at my door 2 days later. He's literally the best.
Hi, it's Jessica Sutter from the Pussycat Dolls. George is the sweetest soul out there. He's so incredibly talented. You give him your vision and he brings it to life, and I just love working with him. And look what he did for PCD. PCD with the kiss and a J for Jessica. I love it.
Hey there, Carmine from the Pussycat Dolls. What can I say about George? He is such a beautiful and loving, kind soul, as well as a visionary and somebody who's so passionate about their work. I know that he's customized so many pieces for so many people and made them really happy, like me. And I'm obsessed with my layers. Here's a few of them. We've got the simple rose gold, my initial, and PCD for Pussycat Dolls. I couldn't be happier, so I wish him the best. Mwah. Love you, George.
My name is George Khalifi. I am a celebrity jeweler from Detroit, Michigan. Making and creating jewelry is my passion, and this is my new high fashion fine jewelry collection. I am George the Jeweler.
Wow, wasn't that amazing? The designs were innovative and fabulous. We hope you enjoyed the second day of the ASEAN International Digital Fashion Week Resort, brought to you by ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase, AFDS, TheHomeGround Asia, and venue partner W Singapore Sentosa Cove. I am looking forward to tomorrow's showcase, so join me at the same time on the same channel, TheHomeGround Asia. Take care and stay safe.